Hey guys, Adrian here, and it's been quite a while since I got to shoot a vlog like this, but despite my best interests, I am up late again after a long work day, and I've been trying to cut down on that, trying to make a lot of different changes, and as you can see, one of those being, for those of you who watch my video, my office. My office is really empty now, and it's really reorganized and neater and clean. Very echoey though. I got to get some sound padding to reduce the echo. Anyways, the reason being because I set up a whole nother desk. You can't see it to the left of me here, because I have somebody working in office now from 9, basically a 9 to 5 job, or 9 to 4, technically speaking. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm hired. You don't have a full-time employee here, not now, but during the day. And a lot of crazy stuff going on, all for the good and all for the, obviously, the end goal of progress. And that being the reason I'm shooting this video. It's about choosing the right goals in life and what that means to me, and where you can get caught up in things I've learned up to this point, I guess. So when it comes to goals, I'm somebody who's very goal oriented. I'm somebody who is very driven, both in business and in real life, or in personal life, with goals, where I want to be in specific age groups and stuff like that. What I want to do in a couple of years, what I want to do this year. I have long-term goals, I have short-term goals, all of that. But as somebody who spent the last 8 years chasing a ton of goals and by, up to this point, achieving some of my biggest goals at 19, there's this thing about, it's good to be goal oriented and envision things, but also, you can't forget to live in the moment and live outside of that, to be okay with just living so much and not having this big burden and pressure of, reaching this thing. Because let me tell you, it's been a real crazy ride these last 8 years to reach my financial goal that I set for myself before 20, and achieving it here at 19. It's been a crazy experience and all of that. And let's get on that topic of money being a motivator, money being a goal, because I think for so many people, that's one thing that we can all relate with, because that's the reason we get jobs, we build careers, and so on and so forth. I'm just gonna put my phone away in my pocket because I don't want it to go off during the video. But, and all these different things. Anyways, that being said, I think there's no issue with money being a motivator. I live by the philosophy that money isn't anything, money is everything. And the fact that money is money. You accept that, you move on. We need it in some aspects to live our life. Whether or not you want to accept that, oh well, you're going to have to type thing. And you don't need a lot of it. You don't need excess. If that's how you want to go by, then go by that. There's no problem with that. That's how I am. I don't apologize for it. You need enough to live by your means, and outside of that, it's up to you and how you want to live your life. But also, I also live by the fact that if you're worth more, go get more. Not just money-wise, but anything. If you think you don't deserve this job, you deserve something bigger, then go and work for it. Go and earn it. And you got to earn it. Don't forget that. You got to put in the work. But anyways, getting back to money, there's no problem with money being the motivator. But if money is your only motivator in life, that's where things can go wrong. I've seen that a lot in business and stuff like that. If you're just chasing financially, whether it's personal or business, you're never going to have enough. You're always going to be chasing the next zero. Whether it's 100, then you want 1,000, then you want 10,000, 100,000, 200, a million, a billion. There's never going to be enough, because you can always make more money. So that shouldn't be your only goal, because you're never going to have enough. And realizing that financial freedom is one thing, financial independence, there's a point where you can reach that, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, whatever it may be, or maybe it's 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, to live within your means. But there's so much more to life outside of that. There's this little parable I heard once, a story. I'm going to paraphrase it and briefly summarize it here because I don't remember it completely. But the fact being, it's a story about an investment banker, rich guy, goes on a mini vacation out in Mexico, and he's on a fishing boat because he enjoys fishing with this guy. This guy who owns a boat. And the fisherman's very experienced, and he asks him, how are you so good? And the guy replies, I've been doing it for a while. And the investment banker goes on to say, well, why don't you, if you enjoy it so much, and as your work, why don't you expand? Why don't you, get a bigger boat and build more businesses and so on and so forth, and spend more time doing this, that, and the other? And the guy goes, well, I make enough to live by my means and support my family, and I'm, pretty busy as is. I after I'm done with my work, I spend time with my kids. I take my wife out. I spend time with my friends, and we have, we play music and all these different things. And then the investment banker goes, I have an MBA. This is my job. Let me make you a ton of money and invest this, that, and the other. And you can franchise your business. You can get out of Mexico. You can have a fleet of ships and so on and so forth. And he goes, well, how long would that take? And he goes, maybe 15 to 20 years. And he goes, but by then you can have millions. And he goes, well, what can I do with my millions? He's like, you can retire. And the fisherman replies, well, what can I do when I retire? And at the end, the investment banker goes, well, you can spend time with your kids, you can take your wife out, you can go out and spend time with your friends and fish more. And obviously the underlying moral of the story being the whole time that's what the fisherman has already been doing. So sometimes in life, I think what I got out of that story when I was told it is you could be, really rich or, just modest with living within your means. But no matter who you are, there's always time for the things that you want to do in life. It's just how you assess them and prioritize them. That's something I'm trying to come to terms with more. So, financial shouldn't be a financial goal shouldn't only be your only motivator in life. It shouldn't be your only life goal, because you're going to keep on chasing it. And you got to realize there's a certain point where outside of that, there's different things. There's things like time, because as much as it's important to spend your money wisely in certain places, it's just as important with time and where you spend it and how you spend it and who you spend it with. Time is one of the biggest luxuries you grow to realize as you go older, and all of that. So that being said, choosing not just it's fine if finances and having a specific goal, or you want to achieve this, you want to be a millionaire, you want to be a billionaire. If you're worth it, go get that. That's who you want to be, but don't have that be who defines you. Don't have that be your only goal, because again, like I said, you're gonna get lost in chasing the next zero. Have things outside of that who make you who you are, and things that you want to be and aspire to be, and things you want to do. I myself nowadays am trying to work less, not so much work harder and longer hours, but work less hours and work smarter, following things like the 80-20 principle and stuff like that. 20% of my input should be 80% of my results type thing. I'm trying to cut down. I'm trying to do different things and outsource and focus on my strengths, not my weaknesses. Not, be so preoccupied with the chinks in my armor, and focus more on my strengths and where I'm good at. And that's helped me a lot in business, and both my personal life and my business, I think. So yeah, I hope that gives some insight to some of you, in terms of, what are your goals in life, and maybe some of them are financial, and that's completely fine. I'd love to hear that. Leave them down in the comments below. And, outside of that, what do you strive to be? What does choosing the right life goals for you mean? Maybe it's a career, maybe it's a degree, maybe it's so on and so forth. What does that mean to you? But at the end of the day, I think, I myself, I live life in the principle that I'm here to add my layer. I think Steve Jobs said it best. I'm here to add my layer to the world while I'm here, and live life to the utmost potential while I'm alive, and contribute what I can to it, and whether that's ideas or creations and inventions or whatever it may be, to build the foundation for somebody else to do the same. I have a huge obsession with legacy, and building a legacy for my family and for the world, so that, something that lives well beyond me and contributes, again, my small layer to the earth, and whenever it is I pass on. So, just a little insight into my mind lately when it comes to choosing the right goals and what that means, and not getting so caught up on just one thing like financial. Financial is just one example. It could be anything. If you get caught up on one goal, it can, be trouble either way. Spreading that out, diversifying, living in the moment, realizing to take a break every now and then, and, soak it all in type thing. And living life on that basis. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next video.